Is this episode giving you the ick?
You're making me itch just thinking about something you're probably going to do, something gross.
You want to break up?
No.
You want to talk it out?
No.
You don't want to talk about it?
No.
So we have to break up?
No.
It's over.
No.
And
that's not an option.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
That's not an
We're
option.
done. I've done something you don't like. It's a wrap. A wrap.
You do tons of things I don't like.
Whoa. Only black in the what is it?
Only black kids in the class.
We back. Only black kids in the class. Only black kids in the class. Only black kids in the class. Putting back with another episode. I'm Robert Sawyer.
I'm Mrs. Sawyer.
And we are the only black kids in the class. I heard you were going to start us off with our homeroom segment. Take it away.
I didn't say that at all, but...
That's exactly what we said yesterday.
You know, I get in where I fit in.
You said you were going to fit in by...
Yeah, I didn't say it was for today. I didn't give a start time. I said it was something I would consider. But since we're here and we're there, I'll go ahead and get started. So what's been going on, Robert?
I would like you to issue a PSA.
What is the PSA?
Mostly that you don't like people.
The PSA that I don't like people?
Yes.
Oh, I can say that. I don't like people.
People keep telling me, oh, you should bring your wife to this, or oh, you should bring your wife to that. Like social gatherings with people from the gym, social gatherings with other therapists I know, friends, buddies, people who are like,
done
you
stuff
and
with
your wife
all of
should.
those things. I've done all of those things.
You have such a charming and magnetizing demeanor
Uh-huh.
that when people are around us, they want to be in our atmosphere more.
Okay.
And they're assuming that if they can have more time with you, you will like them. But you won't.
It's nothing to do with them. I need
you to issue a PSA.
My time without people I don't know. That's the PSA.
So stop asking me to do stuff with her. She doesn't want to go.
That's not true. I'm open to doing things with people.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go. She doesn't want to go. We're not going.
See, I can just chill with you. That's okay.
And I can just chill with you.
There you go. You know, I was listening to another podcast and they were talking about trying new things. And I was like, trying new things. I'll try new food. I'll try new, I don't know, maybe color of clothing, but I don't think I want to try too many new things. What about you? You like to try new things?
I like to try new things all the time.
Oh, okay.
I like experiencing the full breadth of life, even though I don't necessarily try everything. I want to at least find out about things and make that decision to see where I go. So yeah, I like trying new things. I like going new places, meeting new people, discovering things.
Okay.
I do stick to my core things, but like outside of that, I don't want it to always be therapy, business. Like, I like watching documentaries about things that I know nothing about, just to find out more about the world.
That's cool. I'm not against it, but I'm not seeking it. I think that captures me. Okay. So attendance is checked. That's me passing the baton over to you.
Yeah. What grade would you give yourself for doing that?
I give myself a B.
You are very generous to yourself.
I am.
Very, very generous.
I am.
Have you ever been around someone and it's cool until it's not?
Yes.
And suddenly you're just repulsed.
Oh, yes.
Do you know what they call that?
No.
They call that the ick.
Okay.
You were vibing, it was good, and then suddenly it was not.
Okay.
That is the ick. So today we are going to discuss stories where people got the ick. And I'm just going to put out a trigger warning. I've never done that. Didn't think I'd be doing that, but let's just put out a warning now. It goes from bad to worse. Some of these are gross.
Oh, I don't like gross things.
That's why I chose so many. I don't think you're going to have too much to say today.
Oh, okay.
You know what?
I don't know. I don't like that.
I don't remember all of them. That's the thing. I never remember every one we're going to do because when I arrange them, one of them is definitely gross.
Oh, I really.
There's another one that's we're going to decide if it's gross.
Okay.
And I think men and women will have different definitions of if it's gross or not.
Okay. Well, I'm open to trying whatever you think is gross, but I detest gross things.
We're going to see right now.
Okay.
In our first story, am I the asshole for wearing period stain underwear even though it grosses out the guy I'm seeing? Any thoughts?
That sounds gross. That sounds like somebody's nasty.
Whoa, that's not a normal thing?
No.
Well, let's hear it from her. I, 24 female, had an irregular period for a few months after starting a new birth control. Unfortunately, my period stained about 1/3 of my undies in the crotch area. It's faint, but it's still fairly noticeable. It's a light rusty brown shade. Now that my period is more regular, the stain pairs have become my period week underwear. The guy I'm seeing says he doesn't mind period sex, but when we were doing the dirty, he got really grossed out when he saw my underwear. I was confused and explained it was an old period blood stain. He told me how unsexy it was to see what looked like a shit stain in my underwear. He asked if next time I could change into a clean pair. Not gonna lie, this pissed me off. I told him grow up and sarcastically apologized that my normal bodily functions is unsexy to him. Plus, I pointed out he saw me pick out the pair of clean underwear from my freshly washed laundry an hour ago after my shower. We kept going in circles, so finally I kicked him out of my place and texted him, I'm not interested in seeing him anymore. I blocked his number. I'm too old to deal with someone who thinks bloodstains are icky. All of my gal pals agree that he's immature since most women have a designated set of period stain underwear for Shark Week. However, a few of my guy friends said his reaction was understandable since he didn't understand what it was and I was being too harsh. I could have educated him instead of going from 0 to 100. Am I the asshole?
She's not an asshole for if that's how she wants to live her life, but nah, I don't. I mean, to each his own. Her and her friends like to have stained underwear, and that's their business. And if that's what she's gonna be, she wants to be with a guy that loves her for all she is. So that's part of her. So no, I don't think that's the asshole. That's her choice. Ultimately, I think that's gross. But to each his own.
A few things became very clear to me when I was reading this one. One, we've never played a game of guess what race it is, and I don't think we ever will have to. I think it's quite obvious.
No.
Two, it's just a light, rusty color. Okay. But you know what? I am way, way, way too invested in my piece to jump into stories that
Nope.
doesn't have anything to do with me.
Nope.
Come on. Do you, boo?
That's all on her.
Yeah, normally bodily functions, where do we start?
Like I thought like something happened to her. Like
Nope.
no, that would be, understandable. But no, you just kept them and you just like, what? That's like I said, that's her choice.
But a few key statements you can hear there. He's okay with period sex.
Yeah.
So he should be okay with period underwear. And
No,
you know what?
old.
You know what?
Yeah.
I might go with her on her reasoning there.
No, well, again, he showed her who he was, and she showed him who she was, and it didn't work. That's okay.
How dare you call this blood stain a shit stain? Jeez.
That's okay. That is okay.
Jeez.
Now they have learned and moved on. They just aren't compatible. That's fine. Yeah.
Or
what?
she could just get some new underwear.
But she doesn't want to because she wants to keep those.
She only wears it for Shark Week, though.
There you go. So there you go. That's her choice.
Our next story. My boyfriend, 27 male, revealed he got a happy ending. I, 27 female, broke up with him, and I'm second guessing my decision. What should I do?
I don't know. I need more context there.
You don't know what a happy ending is, do you?
That's like you get sex after you have a massage or something?
Or something.
Okay.
I, 27-year-old female, and my ex-boyfriend, 27-year-old male, have been together for 3 years. He confessed that he went and got a happy ending massage while I was out of town a couple of weeks ago. I pressed him for details, and he revealed the woman was naked on top of him, that he touched her, and she gave him a hand job and S'd his D. I was completely horrified to hear this. I consider this cheating, obviously. He feels terrible and ashamed and hates himself. He doesn't understand how he could do something like this. He admits he watches a lot of porn and says it has messed with his head and his expectations when it comes to sex. Breaking up with him was the hardest thing I've ever done. I love him. I'm completely heartbroken and devastated. I know he loves me. He begged me not to end it. The thought of losing him forever is extremely painful, but I've lost respect for him. I don't know if I could ever trust him again. I would feel embarrassed to stay with him given I've told my friends and family what happened. I don't know how I could look at him with any dignity, knowing he did something so disgusting. I'm so conflicted. Help. Why are you laughing? She's going through it.
Well, I don't know how to help her with the situation. She's actually already made a decision. That was gross to her. She didn't want anything to do with that. So that's it. Okay. The part I'm laughing about is why she have to go and tell her friends and family everything about what happened.
Boom.
Like I don't understand that part. Like, why? Like
better yet, because you know what it is? She's missing him. Which is totally normal.
Right.
But she can't go back to him because she ran her
mouth. She didn't ran her mouth. Like, I don't understand that.
I don't think the problem is that she is talking to friends and family. I don't think that's the problem. I think it's that you told everybody probably more than you needed to tell everybody.
Correct.
And now you want to go back.
Right.
Like you reacted and now you're thinking, maybe I should go back. You miss what you thought was a real thing. I don't think you should go back. I don't think she should go back at all. I think she did the right thing. I think she's just going through the normal process of
the void.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And regretting what could have been.
Right.
But, if you want to go back.
So, this happens often. And I can say that I hear the story often. And
who getting all these happy endings?
Well, not the happy endings, the whole part where we're going to break up and we're going to get back together and all that kind of stuff. And
like Cardi B.
I really,
Cardi B gets upset. Listen, y'all, it's over. I'm not doing this anymore. Like, literally, he's like sitting beside her the whole time. Like, yeah. This is a wrap.
That might be for I don't know. It might be for some clicks or something. But
no, I think she's really all over the place.
Relationships are tricky and sometimes they're complicated. And people do make mistakes. And I do think, as you're like going through those mistakes, there's opportunity to forgive and move on and grow together. If someone breaks up with someone because they did something and they didn't like it, I don't judge if they get back together. But the thing is, keep that between you and that person. I don't think there's a need. I think sometimes we overshare with others, and that hinders the possibility of like rekindling that.
I think we overshare and we undershare. I think it's a back and a forth and a back and a forth. She probably spoke a little too much, but then I worried when people don't have the person they can talk to and say things what's going on, and then they're not sharing really bad things. People get in these relationships with a lot of manipulators, liars, people that are making them just unsafe. And I want you talking and sharing that.
But maybe not so many of the details, right? I mean, I know it's.
So then it sounds like the reason she can't go back is pride.
Yeah, ego.
I mean, if you want to go back,
go back.
He hates himself. He doesn't know how this is going to happen.
But now she's worried about how people are going to perceive her, because now she was the victim and he's the bad guy. But then if she goes back, she'll be the dummy. So like I think that's the part people are always stuck with. And I think, love is not cut and dry, it's not black and white. And relationships
I'm realizing how warped people's minds have become. Yeah. He admitted he watches a lot of porn, so he doesn't know what's normal. What?
I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she knows him more. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But Okay. Yeah. I can't help that person.
I don't know what happened. I mean,
yeah.
I got up, I left my house, I went to the ATM, I found the massage parlor, I explained to them what I wanted, I chose the masseuse I wanted, and then it was happening. I loved it. I paid her. And now I'm telling you, I don't even think he told her. She said she found out.
I don't know.
This shit's messy. This is
Yep.
real messy.
Yep.
But you see how she got the ick.
I mean, it was a deal breaker for her. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know if she wants to go back because that's a deal breaker for her.
Ick strikes again. Here's one that I've had for a while, and I just never found a place for it. Here's a story of a lady getting here's a story of a lady getting the ick. Yeah. I, 25-year-old female, have been losing attraction to my boyfriend, 28 male, since he started squealing.
Squealing.
Oh, he's a giddy guy. I, 25-year-old female, have been seeing my boyfriend, 28 male, for about 6 months. And while we've had a great sex life the entire time, I've lately been losing attraction to him. I realize that some drop off is normal as the exciting newness of a new relationship wears off. But for the past few weeks, I've noticed I have almost no desire to sleep with him. I can still get there, but haven't been orgasming and typically have to do a lot of mental and physical stimulation prior to seeing him to get ready. Sorry if it's TMI. Like, the whole shit is TMI, lady. What are you doing? The main issue is that so far it seems like it's been in direct relation to some of his mannerisms that have come out as we've gotten more comfortable with one another. Specifically, he's very affectionate, and I guess now that we're more established as a formal couple, he started squealing whenever he sees me, like a really high-pitched ee sound, typically a few times when he first sees me or whenever he starts feeling cuddly, and it's sometimes accompanied with this wiggle thing he does with his body. To get a mental image, the best comparison I can think of right now is when a dog gets really excited and starts wiggling their butt a lot. When he gets this way at least once every time we see each other, often several times, he'll also make a sound effect every time we kiss. It's an audible mwah sound each time and in full sincerity, not as a joke. Mwah.
No.
Maybe I'm just being too picky and uptight, but it's been really hard to want sex when he does this stuff right before foreplay. The mannerisms make me think of a little kid when they get a toy or something.
Oh, whoa.
And obviously, that wouldn't make any sane person want to be intimate. How do I bring this up with him? I don't want him to change who he is or make him feel scrutinized, and I definitely don't want to tell him that he does something that turns me off. I've joked about it before with silly things like not having a proper trash can and using old paper bags instead, and he got really upset/sad. I don't know what that last part meant.
I don't understand that either.
That last part threw me off.
Not using proper trash. Okay.
But I got a question. Why do people lie? And why do people lie all the time?
What do you mean?
Glad you asked. Here's what I mean. I don't want him to change who he is or make him feel scrutinized. I just want him to know that he's under scrutiny and I don't like how he is.
Yeah.
You do want him to change who he is.
Yeah.
Because who he is gives
don't
you
like.
the ick.
Yeah, who he is, she doesn't like.
Who he is, it's a little weird.
For her.
He's got a wiggle.
There's somebody that love that wiggle.
Okay.
She needs to release him and let him go find somebody who loves his wiggle. Yeah, that's just it. That's not gonna get better. That's who he is. You don't like it, move on.
It sounds like every answer is breakup.
Yeah.
Every single time, breakup. So then there's a bigger thing, because story after story after story, leave. Everybody can't leave. So you know what? I challenge you to help them work this out.
There's no working that out.
There is working it out.
She's repulsed by him in his noise.
She's not repulsed.
She is.
She just doesn't want to have sex with him, and she thinks it's totally gross.
That's repulsed. So she doesn't. That's it. It's over. No. What you should be saying is, when you said like why people lie, is people keep trying to be this person that they're not, and then when the true selves come out, they're then caught off guard that person doesn't like them.
I'm going to take my challenge, and I'm going to help them work this out.
You gonna help them work it out?
I'm not a quitter like you.
That's not a quitter. That's reality.
Everybody. It can't always be just break up. Then there would be no relationships, and if there are
I
no
agree.
relationships, what stories are we going to read on Reddit?
Well, maybe they'll find the right person.
Honey.
Yeah.
A few podcasts ago, we were reading something and you just kept saying bad human, bad human, bad human.
Yeah.
And I said, when are you going to accept that this is how people are? The right person? I mean, that's a really weird thing because I met you before. You were not the right person. You just weren't.
Okay.
You kind of may have given me the ick. And you would probably say the same thing. You'd be lying, but you'd probably say the same thing. We had to work things out.
You talking about you and me for real? I thought you were talking about like.
Yes.
No. I mean, you do things I don't like. You've done things.
No, but I'm talking about in the beginning.
In the beginning.
Before we got together, did you want to get with me?
No.
Yet here we are. So it can't just be, oh, break up. Don't do it, girl.
No.
You can do better. Like it can't always be no.
But they're not.
Red flag gone. Red flag gone.
Well,
it can't always just be break up.
We haven't had scenarios where there's things to work, honey. I'm sorry. Somebody wiggling their butt and doing weird things and that's not going to change. That's not going to change. That's who they are. It's fundamentally who they are.
We haven't had scenarios where we need to work on things?
Where the person that's writing, asking the question has things to work on. We've had deal breakers. These are deal breakers, honey.
A butt wiggle isn't a deal breaker.
That's a deal breaker.
A butt wiggle isn't a deal breaker.
She's repulsed by it. So that's a deal breaker, honey.
Yeah,
there's no compromising there.
That's not a deal breaker. So for you, in your world, the world you're painting right now, you found something about your partner that you don't like. Don't talk about it. Just break up. That's crazy.
You should talk about it. But she said she talked to him something about the paper bag and the trash can, and he was all, so she's not going to talk to him about it. Or he's sensitive. Well, he's very sensitive. That's why he's all wiggly and whatnot. He's emotional. He likes that.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that, but it's not for her.
So don't talk, just break up.
No, I'm not saying that.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
I'm saying, honey, there's things.
So first one, period stain, underwear. Should they talk or should they break up?
She already broke up.
Okay. Second one, happy ending. Should they talk or should they break up?
She already broke up.
Okay. Third one, he wiggles and squeals. Talk or break up?
She talked, but they're going to break up. That's just 3 scenarios out of how many, honey?
Almost everyone we read.
You said almost.
It's break up.
Count.
Okay.
Okay.
It sure does count for all the happy homes you're breaking up.
Happy people don't sit here and have their time writing it in the Reddit.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
I just don't read.
They're out enjoying life.
I just don't read.
They're out enjoying each other.
I just don't read.
They're working through their stuff. These people are not. They're not happy.
No. There are tons of happy ones. I just don't read those for engagement.
Well,
people love drama.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The ones that you're talking about is done deal.
I camera on me. I hereby commit to having more balanced stories. So from now on, we're only going to do 99% terrible, toxic, drama, bad human stories. And we're going to have our 1% happy stories just to show you people stay together.
I would love to see that.
Let's stay together. Ooh.
What song was that you made up? That's not a song.
You might want to walk out for this one.
Oh, boy.
This one is so bad. Like, I'm definitely going to read it.
So then why are you reading it?
I'm definitely going to read it, but you might want to walk out the room.
You know I don't like this stuff.
Yeah. Is this episode giving you the ick?
You're making me itch just thinking about something you're probably going to do, something gross.
You want to break up?
No.
You want to talk it out?
No.
You don't want to talk about it?
No.
So we have to break up?
No.
It's over.
No.
And
that's not an option.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
That's not an
We're
option.
done. I've done something you don't like. It's a wrap. A wrap.
You do tons of things I don't like.
Whoa. It was a good podcast run. Oh, we could be like that other couple.
What other couple?
You know, we get divorced, but we still do our podcast.
No.
Oh, God. Today I fucked up by using my vibrator without peeing first. The other night I went over to my boyfriend's house and we started getting jiggy with it. I was kneeling on the carpeted floor, giving him dome, and started. What's a better word? I gotta have the words that we're not going to get like banned for saying these things.
Yeah, you already said corn.
Yeah, corn. Sometimes I don't think of it off the spot. The other night, I went over to my boyfriend's house and we started getting jiggy with it. I was kneeling on the carpeted floor, giving him dome, and started using my. Can you say? I don't know. I don't even know if I can say most of this stuff.
I don't like this already. I don't know. Why are we saying this?
This one is.
Why are we even doing this one? This has gone too far.
Here we go. The other night, I went over to my boyfriend's house and we started getting jiggy with it. I was kneeling on the carpeted floor, giving him knowledge, and started using my vibrator on myself. I hadn't used my vibrator in a while, but it is powerful. It's the only thing that has ever made me squirt. About 20 seconds in, I told him I felt like I was going to squirt soon, so we laid down a towel. For those who have never experienced it, the feeling you get before you squirt is exactly the same as the feeling you get before you pee. I typically pee before using my vibrator, so I know for certain that when I squirt, I won't be peeing all over my bed instead. Well, I wasn't completely sure that I was about to squirt because it felt a little different than usual, but I also didn't need to pee, so I let it...
This is gross.
So I let the feeling take over. A violent stream of liquid came shooting out my body. It splashed. Once I felt it, I was 90% sure I'd peed since I'd never squirted so violently before. But then I thought maybe it was because it had been a while. The 10% of hope I had died when the smell of urine wafted over my nostrils. That's also when I realized that so much came out, it was probably in the carpet too. I tried playing it cool and continued giving my boyfriend knowledge, hoping he didn't notice the smell. After a minute, I couldn't keep kneeling next to a smelly, pee-soaked towel. I got up and said sorry, not to kill the mood, but I didn't squirt. I actually peed. Luckily, he was nice about it because it was definitely one of the more embarrassing things that has ever happened in the bedroom. Kink shaming in 3, 2, 1.
What are we supposed to be talking about?
Nothing to say?
Nothing to say.
Nothing to say?
Gross.
She just wanted to let everybody know that today she effed up.
Okay.
The lesson is always pee first.
Whatever.
Wow. That's super judgy of you. That's super judgy of you. You know, can't say. Can't say that. You know, Mrs. Sawyer, a lot of these stories are relationships icks, but it's not just relationships.
Okay.
I got some that I'd like to read to you.
Okay.
I hate telling my mom about my love life. Every time I mention I'm dating someone non-black, she starts making racial jokes about them, and it makes me very uncomfortable. Yeah, that sounds really tough. Next, I have an insecure friend who cop blocks any guy who finds interest in me. She's a great friend, but if she thinks the guy is good looking, she never lets me get a chance to talk to him. She just says embarrassing things about me. That's not a great friend.
Yeah, that sounds, yeah.
It sounds like you should have the ick with this friend because...
That sounds like, I'm going to bring it back, bad human.
I know what our merch is going to say. Tell me why my mans want to spend all his time with my bi brother, and when he comes back, he smells like sex.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So, I want you to help me. I really want you to help me.
You want me to help you?
Yes, I need you to explain this to me.
Okay.
One, I don't assume to believe any of these are real. I think it's just a lot of bored people looking for attention on the internet.
Uh-huh.
But let's pretend that all of these are real.
Uh-huh.
You're going through this and something tells you, you know what? Let me phrase it like this on the internet to the strangers who are going to troll me. And I'm not going to, what do you mean? Tell me why. You know why. You know why.
I think they're just looking for attention.
Why doesn't she try to get attention from her bi boyfriend?
Because he clearly is into her brother.
My bad. Her brother's bi.
Her boyfriend bi too.
Her boyfriend just likes spending time
her
with
boyfriend
her bi
bi too. Her boyfriend bi too.
The boyfriend's a real one for keeping it in the family. I got one more ick story for you.
An ick story. Okay.
I have had this one for so long. And I wasn't going to read it. But you know what? We're talking about the ick. Help this lady out in our next segment of Toxic Confessions. We've been dating for 2 years. His wife went into labor on my birthday. He live streamed his thoughts as a strong black man and how vulnerable he felt while waiting for his new king to arrive. His legacy continues, he said, because Yahweh blessed him with a beautiful, fertile queen. Meanwhile, he begged me to end my pregnancy last year. When I told him I was pregnant, he told me that his firstborn should come from his wife. He said, when you make a mistake, you got to fix it. You've got to make this right. He knew me before he got married. He flew me out to sleep with him because his wife was too sick when they went on their honeymoon. I was on their honeymoon with them at a different hotel. And I know he loves me, but why does he constantly remind me that I'm second place to his wife? I should have had his firstborn. How do I assume my true role is number one in his life?
There's no number one. This person is delusional.
Delulu?
This is
It's a strong case of the Delulu.
Oh my goodness.
Lord.
I don't even know.
Hold on.
I don't even know.
Before we get into this,
I don't even know.
bow your head. Let's bow our
I
heads.
can't.
Because every time there's a child involved in these stories,
I
say
so
pray
bad
for the babies.
child.
Let's bow our heads for a moment.
His king.
Let's bow our heads for a moment.
Yes.
Dear Black Baby Jesus, please pray for the babies. Please pray for the children. Amen.
It's terrible.
This is so effed up. Like,
Terrible.
that man got a wife
A whole wife.
that doesn't know about you.
Yeah.
So let's just look at the timeline. You were with him. He met her, married her. You got an abortion. He got her pregnant. He's live streaming the birth of his queen.
Of his king from his queen.
He's live streaming the birth of his king from his wife,
Yep.
not you.
Yep.
And I y'all didn't see it. He said, when you make a mistake, you have to make it right.
Yep.
Not when we make a mistake.
No.
Ma'am, he's not reminding you that you're second place to his wife. He's reminding you that both y'all ain't shit to him.
Yeah.
It's about him,
Only him.
maybe a little bit his king, but it's all about him.
Yep.
And you just keep staying. Should she try to work it out?
Work what out?
See,
There's nothing to work
now
out.
this one I'm comfortable saying.
There's nothing to work out.
Be out. This one I'm comfortable saying
This
it.
is terrible. It's disgusting. Bad humans.
Who's the bad human?
All of them. Except for the wife and the king.
And the king. And the young king.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible. Even on the honeymoon, like that's just.
But it's like, how far out in advance was she
I
sick?
have no, like, I just can't, like, what in the world? My gosh, just terrible. Bad humans.
Not great humans.
Bad humans.
Do you ever feel sorry for the side piece?
No.
Really?
Only time I ever feel bad for the side piece if the side piece doesn't know that they're side piece. Because that does happen a lot. But once they find out, nah. I don't feel bad.
But there's obviously some esteem issues going on here.
Clearly. It doesn't
Because
exist.
In her mind.
It doesn't exist.
But think about it. In her mind, she was first, so the wife is the side piece. He just, married her.
Right, because she's delusional.
Yeah.
That's how he talks to her or makes her, I don't know if he even manipulates her. It just seems so easy.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Honeymoon? Really? Why would you?
He's so proud to be a father, except if you're the mother.
Damn.
Dirty game.
Terrible.
I'm taking it you don't like the ick.
I don't.
You know who's never given me the ick?
Who?
You, my queen. Ever since we got together. But before that,
Yeah. The feeling was mutual.
yeah. One day we're going to really get into that story.
The feeling was mutual.
We're going to really get into that story. We're going to run a poll. And I want to hear from our audience the truth about our history. Not today. It's too soon now. But one day we'll get into that. So you brought us in. Bring us out.
You want me to bring us out?
Yeah.
I don't like the ick. I don't like gross stuff.
If you find yourself repulsed by someone, first, ask yourself why. Second, get out.
I agree.
Wait, is there no coming back from the ick?
You can come back from the ick.
You know what I didn't do?
You can.
There are lots of cases and threads and all that stuff where people are talking about the ick and it's the dumbest thing ever. Like, oh, my boyfriend studies. He gives me the ick. Like, I mean, that dumb.
Yeah.
We'll do one of those another day.
Yeah. Or like somebody eats meat and they don't, like, grosses them out.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm Robert Sawyer.
I'm Mrs. Sawyer.
We are the only black kids in the class.